Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Knowledge. This is a early stream. I know usually I am going live Thursday night, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that will not end. So if you guys do not know, I go live every single Thursday night in the year 2024. Next week will be the final Thursday stream. So if I make it next Thursday, I'll have officially, or sorry, 2 day or 3 days from now, Thursday, the 26th. I'll have officially made it 52 weeks in a row going live every single Thursday. So 1 year. So if there's anything I could hang my hat on, be proud of, there'll be some hat conversations in later in today's video, but it will be that. I'm going to talk to you guys about my experience CT scanning Resealed $30,000 Holon Phantoms booster box. I'm going to talk about that, and then I'm going to also talk about giving in the Fomo as well. I guess the first thing I'll talk about is we'll talk about giving in the Fomo because I think it's a nice segue into scanning a fake $30,000 Holon Phantom booster box. So I guess the first thing is giving into Fomo. Right now, it's the hot talk, right? It's Prismatic Evolutions. And if you guys don't know, Hill's Wholesale Gaming, a lot of us, myself included, that was our last beacon of hope, that our last shining example, like in the distance, watching eBay, all these high pre-sales, a lot of people, doing pre-sales for Prismatic Evolutions. Rattle's just going to have a field day. Come mid-January, the amount of pre-orders that are going to get canceled on people are just going to be a borderline make-believe number. Everybody's pre-orders are getting canceled. Like, not, when I say everybody, obviously that's an exaggeration, but there's going to be so many stores that are going to be canceling people's pre-orders because at release, prices are going to be really high. Right? And it's scary too. I'm seeing so many people pre-order Prismatic Evolutions booster boxes, just given into FOMO on eBay of just no name. Their account was created yesterday and they put up 30 ETBs of Prismatic Evolutions for pre-orders. A lot of these are going to be outside that 30-day eBay return window. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be really, really ugly. And we're seeing people just, I'm looking at how many quantities sold, and it's like 15, 20, 25, and I just shake my head. I'm like, all right, it's just people giving into FOMO, right? It's FOMO in, hope they get the best price. And this is going to lead into the $30,000 Resealed Holon Phantoms booster box, I promise you. But anyways, Hills Wholesale Gaming, that was our last beacon of hope. And Hills on Friday, they finally did it. They finally put up their pre-order, $79 in ETB. Couple hours later, it was 85. I watched it when it went up for 79, and I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? $79 might be a play. But Hills, yeah, it's a boomer website. You're going to pay shipping. You're going to pay taxes. When you take into, shipping and taxes, I looked at it and I just said, even though this might be a good play at $79, assuming I could turn and burn, I think in the future we're going to get a lot of reprints of Prismatic Evolutions. We already know how the release schedule is staggered. Like, build and battle boxes come out way after ETBs, and there will be more product of Prismatic Evolutions, but right now at release, it's going to be slim. So I looked at it at 79 and I said, I'll pass. And then later in the day, it was 85. And then I was still thinking about it, 85. I'm like, all right, I passed at 75, or excuse me, I passed at 79. 85 might still be a play. And then because even at that price, at that close to the 85, pretty much you're at pre-order prices compared to everybody else on the market. The only thing is with like a Hills, it's a guarantee. Hills is not gonna, they're not going to cancel your pre-order. You talk about some of these eBay accounts have been around for a day. Hills have been around for way longer than a day. They've been around for greater than 2 decades, so, but it was high, even for Hills. And that's supposed to be like our secret, right? Shout out to Cool Trainer Ryan. Hills is supposed to be our secret. That's supposed to be our little corner of the community. It's like, okay, first place you check, eBay. Second place you check, Hills. Look at the two. Which one's cheaper? Third place you check, Safari Zone. It's like, and these aren't really secrets. eBay's not a secret. It's just like shopping around. That's the thing about this hobby. There's just a lot of people, they'll never shop around. they'll go to one website and they live or die on that website. They go to eBay, they search for their product, lowest price plus shipping. They find a seller that looks legit, and that's it. That's where they buy. They live there. It's just like TCG Player. Everybody asks, how is TCG Player always get these, great high prices? It's like, well, some people just live and die at TCG Player. They go on TCG Player, whatever market price is what they're paying. But it goes to the Fomo. It's like giving in the Fomo. I thought about it at 79, I passed. I thought about it at 85, I passed. Luckily, all those ETBs are sold out. They have 3-pack blisters and poster collections. I don't even know if they're still up, but they were cost per price, super expensive, especially when you take in taxing and shipping. And I'm just like, not worth it. I have my pre-orders in at Pokemon Center, obviously MSRP, and on the day of release, there will be more ETBs that come up. So far, on the day of release for any product, Pokemon Center has always had restocks 100% of the time. Prismatic Evolutions might be the one example that ever changes. I doubt it. Listen, 100% chance of restocks on Pokemon Center at day of release. Now, is it going to get botted? Probably. Is the website going to crash? Definitely. Are most people not going to be able to get pre-orders on the day of release? Most likely, but they will restock on Pokemon Center. So obviously I did the pre-orders on Pokemon Center for ETBs. I got multiple cases coming to me. Hopefully they make it through. Multiple building battles I've ordered, to the house, to the P.O. box, like try to change up shipping address, try to change up emails, and then the same thing with those Evolution mystery boxes. But anyways, giving in the FOMO. I feel like there's a lot of people giving in the FOMO right now. But now it leads to the title of this video. My experience CT scanning and resealed $30,000 Holon Phantom booster boxes. So, talking about FOMO, one of the things is people are going to try to look for deals that are too good to be true. Now, this Holon Phantom booster box was bought on a legit platform. So it wasn't given into FOMO. It was buying it on a legit auction platform. It was not my Holon Phantoms booster box, but I was reached out to about this Holon Phantoms booster box. So if you guys know IIC, I have been in communications with the owners from IIC. It all started off when all this kicked off. I want to bring the owner on for a one-on-one interview. It's something I'm still hoping to one day do. I would like to bring the owner on and just sit down and, just like I said, have that one-on-one conversation, like talk to him. The hobby is always like, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? And I'm leaning towards it is a good thing. I've always leaned towards it's a good thing. And I just think that people always take it to the extreme that every single Surge and Sparks booster box is going to get, CT scanned. Every single Darkness Ablaze booster pack is going to get CT scanned. And the reality is like, that's not the case. I mean, we're going to talk, they're pretty transparent in this article, actually very transparent, talking about this fake EX Holon Phantoms booster box. But because I've had that conversation with the owner, he has my phone number. He reached out to me over text, was like, hey PK, would you be interested in looking over this Holon Phantom booster box that we think might be fake? And it's one of those, I'm not a doctor, but I'll take a look. And if anybody is going to ever reach out to me and say, hey, we have this fake Holon Phantoms booster box, you want to take a look, I'm always going to play that doctor role. I'm not a doctor, but I'll take a look. And, I was on the email chain. He sent the photos. I do wish they included more photos of this box. This is a great reseal. I don't even know now if the box is real, but the Pokeball wrapping on this, so this is the client's box right here. If you look, they took some photos from PokeRev, some eBay listings, and they were looking at like the actual box, like where these stones are. This box looks really good. Do you see this Pokeball wrapping? This is some of the best fake Pokeball wrapping I have ever seen. Obviously, Pokeball wrapping, like this is PokeRev's box before it was open. You can see the Pokeballs obviously are in a different place. It's just wrapping. Position of the Pokeball wrapping is going to be different every single booster box. That's one of the things we call fingerprints of the box, right? So like if you had one box, you could sometimes trace the lineage of that box just by the placement of the Pokeball wrapping. But you always want to look for it to kind of be in this straight line. You got these 3 Pokeballs. This wrapping was freaking great. looking at these Pokeballs, I was like, wow, because I was like, I'll look. But then he sent me the scans, and the first question they did before they even sent me the scans, they were like, "Hey, PK, we were seeing a little weird things. Have you ever seen it where the ninth and 10th card in a box are hollow?" And I instant responded back. I'm like, Holon Phantoms only has 9 cards per pack, so if there's 10 cards per, that's an issue. But what led it off was, if you guys don't know, so there's a couple sets have box toppers. Like, it all started obviously in Legendary Collection with box toppers, but they're like the jumbo ones. So you got Legendary Collection, Expedition, Aquapolis, Skyridge, all have box toppers, but they're the bigger box toppers. And then you have like Hidden Legends has the Pikachu box topper, EX Team Rocket Returns, but then box toppers become the smaller cards, like an actual like normal size, this is Japanese, but like a normal size Pokemon card. And then for Holon Phantoms, there's the Mew promo. The Mew Holon Phantoms promo, you've probably seen it. It's like the only secret rare in Holon Phantoms. But that's what made them originally like look at this box twice, because there was no box topper. So when they say no loose cards, and I looked at the scans for them, there is a need for this. This box sold on a platform for potential. I don't know exactly. I don't see where it was, but he reached out to me for an image, for like a quote after I looked at the box. And you can see a variety of metrics were used to evaluate the authenticity of booster boxes. A booster box, this is a little too much for me, but he said this booster box feels every single one as shown in the below images. And then he did link my YouTube, which was cool. He said, Poke Knowledge, this was a rough line for me to read out loud. He says, whose intelligence rivals that of Mewtwo, advertised us during the evaluation with all evidence presented. He asked me, would you like to do a quote for this booster box? And I told him all the things that I thought were wrong with it. I reached out to one of my friends in the hobby, got to see the inside of their Holon Phantom booster box, and I could have wrote this long paragraph, like all the stuff that was wrong with this booster box, but he said, do you have a quote? And I just said, if this booster box is real, I'll eat my hat. See that? I told you we'd talk about hats later in today's video, but that was the only quote I could come up with. If this booster box is real, I'll eat my hat. So, first of all, this is the box. Again, this is not a paid advertisement for IIC. I did not get paid for this. Call it a consultation, whatever. I'm not getting paid for this. No money was changed. It's just I'm still trying to get him on this channel, and hopefully him reaching out, me helping out with this booster box will be enough for I can finally get my interview with Keith, and just finally have a conversation with him and like talk about this. I want to talk about a lot of things, like talk about the technology, what their real capabilities are, talk about the morality, the ethics. This is what I want. This is the whole reason I reached out to Keith in the first place, and hopefully we have a good working rapport. One day he can come on, and that's how this all started. No, this is not a paid advertisement. I am not a paid shill. I am not making a penny off this. I'm literally just telling you. He reached out to me, and I'm not a doctor, but I'll take a look. So, scanning into the box. So, the first thing that flagged them was no box topper. So, that Mew. There's supposed to be 36 packs in the box. There's only 28. So, there's not even enough packs in here. And then, when I looked at the scans, this is what I noticed. Do you see right here? Shark teeth crimps. The packs don't even have the right like crimps on it. You got shark tooth. These are like infamous fake packs. Now, when he originally said 10 packs, like I hadn't really even looked at the scans, and I was like, oh, if there's 10 cards per pack and the hollows are at the end, it's probably just modern packs. I hadn't even like really opened it up and looked at it, but I was the one that identified this. I'm like, Keith, they don't even have real packs in it. I'm like, there's shark teeth crimps right where my cursor is. I'm like, that's not a real box. And then obviously, like the packs are wrong. There's not enough. There's no box topper. And then the box itself looks to be fake. And like, this is why it's so important for CT scanning on the high end. Below is an example of an authenticated report for each of our clients that receives authentication requests. So this is another thing too. I think a lot of people are worried too, because for like people don't, they're like, well, if you scan a box, you can know what the hits are. Luckily, IIC offers this service, which is just authentication, where they will not tell you the hits. So they will not give you images of the cards. They'll just let you know, like, hey, this box shows all the signs of being real. But you don't know, like, let's say, this is obviously a Holon Phantoms box. Let's say it's a base set first edition. They'll scan it. They'll identify the hollows in it, like, internally, but they won't release the hits to you. They'll just give you this booster box authentication certificate, pretty much saying, like, this box was scanned. It matches all known examples of real boxes. We've identified the hits, but they just won't give you that hit. So if you were to sell it, you can sell it with this authentication, but not knowing the hits. So the person buying it, there still is either that mystery or if they want to open it. But then they also do, I believe, this, don't quote me on this, I think they offer where, like, you could also see the hits. But if they give you this authentication certificate and it says it was just scanned, but they write all the stuff. There is one typo on here. It says Mewtwo card topper not present, where it is supposed to be a Mew card topper. But the buyer spent $225 to have this box scanned. That's why I say when people are like, every single Surgeon Sparks booster box is going to be scanned. Well, guess what? Surgeon Sparks booster boxes are $250. So if you want to spend $225 to find out what the hits are in your $250 booster box, like, go right ahead. I mean, you know what I'm talking about at that point. So it is pricey. That's why when everybody's like, oh, every booster box, every Darkness Ablaze pack, it's like, no, it's not a free service. It's $225. It's still expensive. But you now have a guy spent 20, they said 30. I don't know if, they don't say what auction platform it was, and they don't say, like, the actual final sale. They just say 30,000. But let's say 20 to 30,000 this booster box sold for. Somebody spent $225 to have it scanned, and now the buyer of this box is going to be able to go to that auction platform and get their $30,000 back by spending $225. So, but all packs appear to have, and then this is what they give for their notes. Number of packs fail. 28 out of 36 packs. All packs appear to have card 1 and card 2. So they show this, like, little weird circle. So it looks like there is a holographic. Who knows what fake cards are in here. All packs appear to have a 1 and card 2 density anomaly compared to typical Pokemon packs. Internal seals are Sharktooth, Mewtwo card topper. No cards are identifiable, and typical holographic indicators are not present. No Pokemon holographics are identified. Some cards contain circular ink features, which is, this is probably just, it's honestly probably not Pokemon packs in there. The booster box was reviewed to verify authenticity and confirm it has not been tampered with. The client has no knowledge of potential card identities. There you go. So, this is my experience with a fake $30,000 box. It'd be very interesting if Rattle, like, makes a follow-up video, reaches out, finds out what auction platform this was sold on, you know? And then tracking it back, because this is the thing. You can say what you want about CT scanning. I'm like, for this, somebody just spent $225, and again, this is not a paid advertisement. I'm not getting paid by IC for this. I did not get paid for consulting on this booster box. I'm just telling you I want to have them on my channel for an interview. Oh, by the way, good morning, everybody. Happy morning. We didn't even realize I went live at 10:30 a.m. I think this is the earliest I am on PTO this week. Drinking my coffee and got in a nice little hot mug. But, yeah, that's why they asked me for a comment. I could have wrote a comment like, you know, based off of my experience in the hobby and all the vintage packs I've held or booster boxes I've looked at, this does not appear to meet any known, like, examples of any boxes ever, you know, based off of the information provided of not enough packs, no. My quote is, if this booster box is real, I'll eat my hat. So, when Keith originally texted me, the first thing he asked was, did you ever... So, well, let's go back in time a little bit. First message he asked me was, have you ever heard of Holon Phantoms booster box that didn't have a loose card in? That's how he provided, or how he asked the question. I was like, every single Holon Phantom booster boxes I've ever heard of always had a box topper. And he's like, oh, okay, so that's what it's called, box topper. And then I'm like, yes, box topper. But I said, listen, this is still mass-produced stuff that came out of a factory printing hundreds of thousands of every set in booster boxes. Like, is there an example where one loose or one Holon Phantoms booster box made it out of the factory without a box topper in the entire history of this booster box. I'm like, I will never rule that out. Like, but before at that time, I didn't know about the number of packs. I didn't know about the shark crimps. I didn't know about 10 cards per pack. I didn't know about hollows in the wrong spot. I just knew that there was a missing box topper. So that was how it all started. Was he said, have you ever heard of box not having a box topper? And I said, no, never heard of that personally, but it could always be a first. That is not for me. I wouldn't live or die on the hill that says every single Holon Phantoms booster box that was printed by Nintendo came off the factory line, and every single one of them had a box topper. Listen, I open up packs now all the time. I'm getting upside down reverse hollows, not enough cards in a pack, too many cards in a pack. What else? Crimps. This was a Hidden Fates pack that I opened the other day. I didn't even open it. I just pulled it out. The crimp, when they crimped it, cut my top card. So like one of the cards that you can see actually, like the code card was cut off. It was just it was a bad seal. And I opened up this Hidden Fates pack when we were streaming. I didn't even open it. I got it. And I saw that the bottom was all messed up, so I kind of just like peeled it, and all the cards were crimped because that was just an error by the factory. Like, oh, and the card that was inside of it was a full art shiny Scizor. That was the hit that was in there. So nobody puts a full art shiny Scizor, which was not crimped, was in that pack. But it's just like shit like that happens. Like, this is mass produced stuff. Comes off a factory, assembly line going a million miles per hour. There could be little issues, but to have all these issues, no way. But like, that's where the value is on a service like this, where somebody spent $225 and they saved themselves $30,000 worth of headache. Now, I don't know the full story, but I guess pretty much like the person that bought this box got it from the auction house, and it wasn't, I don't know if it was him or their friends, like raised some concerns like, hey, this box might be iffy. But he didn't want to know the hits. That's why they were going to this authentication certificate without showing the hits. He just wanted to say, like, ease my concerns. Is this box at least real? Look at this. Shark tooth crimps. But this is the thing. Team Rocket is real. Somebody got this freaking baby through an auction house. So it goes back to the FOMO. It's like, when I tell you everybody is, FOMOing in, buying from real shady sellers on eBay for prismatic evolutions, and they have zero feedback, and their account's 1 month old or sometimes 2 days old. Yeah, that's like obvious. But if you're talking about like big platforms like eBay sponsored promoted listings through the eBay homepage by big sellers, heritage auctions, obviously PWCC, we just saw PWCC does, or not PWCC, Fanatics now. But it was sold when it was still PWCC, and then Fanatics stopped selling booster boxes because there was no way to authenticate them. And then we saw like the big example that sold on PWCC was that sealed Expedition booster box. And then when they went and they opened it up on the stream, it was a Expedition booster box bought off of PWCC, which is a big auction platform, and they opened it up and it had Crimson Invasion packs in it. Now, Crimson Invasion packs, fantastic product to have in a box. And I told this to Keith too. I said, eventually, like, he's like, how would you go about this? I said, we'll reach out to the auction platform and see if you can get your money back. And then if you don't, open this box with somebody and put them on blast for not giving your money back. And originally when I heard it was 10 cards per pack and the hollows were like towards the end or towards the front, it instantly made me say, okay, well, this is Scarlet and Violet packs, because Scarlet and Violet packs, obviously the hits are on the end, code cards and shit like that. But that doesn't even look like that's the case of this. But I explained to Keith, I said, Keith, when somebody's resealing booster boxes, I said, the thing that they need as the seller is you need the most plausible deniability you can possibly get. So all plausible deniability is let's say you reseal a booster box. You reseal a booster box with fake packs in this sense, or older packs, Crimson Invasion, call it older in the sense, is at least gives you a little bit of plausible plausible deniability, that if it does come back to you, you can say, I bought it from somebody else. I didn't know that this was resealed. But now, if you put Scarlet and Violet packs in it, that timeline gets really, really truncated super quick. I'll give you an example. So like the Dumb Money guys, Collectible Guru, Blee and Hart was there. They had the table. You know, Collectible Guru was like, I got this first edition booster box. The person I bought it from had it in a gun safe. He had 3 of these boxes that he got when he was a kid, and the guy put them in a gun safe in 1999, and they were never touched. And then when they went to open the packs, the wrong packs were in it, had some base set 2 cards in it, but then it also had, at the time it was Sword and Shield, it also had some random Sword and Shield cards in it. So Collectible Guru's like conversation he had about the guy put it in a gun safe and it being there for 20 years and nobody touched it and there's no way it was tampered with. Well, that plausible deniability that it was in a gun safe for 20 years gets thrown out the window because now there's Sword and Shield cards in there. Where now if there was just base set cards, the guy could be like, listen, I bought this box 20 years ago. I put it in this gun safe. Somebody must have resealed it 20 years ago. And even though it was in a gun safe, I never knew for 20 years. Even that's a little bit of plausible deniability. But when you say it was in a gun safe for 20 years and there's Sword and Shield cards in it, well, goodbye plausible deniability. What I explained to Keith was, if somebody's smart, you put, like, an example, the Expedition booster box that had Crimson Invasion packs in it, that at least gives you enough timeline, and that's like close to a decade. What was Crimson Invasion? The 3rd set, so 2016 or whatever, I don't even know. Maybe 2016, 2017 timeline. We're in 2024. You can be like, hey, Crimson Invasion, why would anybody reseal? You know, probably Sun and Moon base would even be better. Give yourself like 2 more sets worth of plausible deniability. Like take 36 packs of Sun and Moon base, put it in there, and that gives you 8 years of plausible deniability where you can be like, hey, I bought this box 4 years ago. I didn't know it was resealed. I sat on it for 4 years, because even at that point, it gives you 4 years of plausible deniability where that box could have changed hands. Where now, if you said, I've held on to this box for the last 4 years, but it has Scarlet and Violet packs in it, there goes your plausible deniability. It's like, well, buddy, you just said you own this box for 4 years, and these packs are only 2 years old, so your story doesn't really add up. And I was explaining it to Keith that way, like, the more plausible deniability of people resealing this box, but, you know, it'll be interesting if they open this up, like, what are these Shark Tooth? I mean, Shark Tooth, there are some products, but, like, the weird thing is this box is so well done. I wish he could show the side, I wish they could show the seams of it. Like, the seams were really good. The Pokeball wrapping on this thing is fantastic. Now, I don't know if this is, I think it's a fake box because I can't find any examples of, like, the rocks here. But, like, even the cutout of the Mewtwo, it's a really, really, really good fake. Like, it's super good. You will only ever know this is fake by opening it up. And, I see why it made it through. I mean, we could all play Monday Morning Quarterback and say that there's a lot of issues. I wish Keith shows the sides. The sides are really, really well done with the seals. The Pokeball wrapping, this is the best fake Pokeball wrapping I have ever seen. It is so good that you can, like, scratch it off. You know how, like, some of the Pokeball wrapping scratches off, some of it doesn't? This is great. This is a great fake box. And it made it through a major auction house. And you know what? Somebody just saved $30,000. Like, you say what you want. All right. Anyways, that is my rant for today. I just wanted to talk about this because I haven't really seen anybody talk about the fact that I was quoted in this article, and just kind of give you a little background. Hopefully I get Keith on this channel. Guys, Merry Christmas. I'm going to go hop in, going to read the top of the chat. I want to hang around with you guys for a little bit. I know we were just talking about the fake booster box, how I think it's pretty cool. I mean, this is technology now. Let's go back to it real quick. My last thing is, like, this is a box. We sold through a legit auction platform. Somebody spent a lot of money on it, and it had all these issues, and none of these issues you can see without opening the box. No box topper. Not enough packs. You know, like, people are saying, well, if there's only 28 packs, you could weigh out the packs. Well, you don't know how much these packs weigh. I mean, these packs might be, weight-wise, heavier than a normal pack. I mean, obviously, they're already normal. So, there's 10 cards. Now, all right, and this is another thing, too. So I'm going to break this down for you guys too, where you understand. People are going to be like, well, they could have weighed out the box. There's 36 packs per box, right? So 36, because originally there's supposed to be 9 cards per pack. So 9 cards per pack at 36, that's 324 cards in a booster box. This booster box only has 28 packs, and it has 10 cards per pack, so that's 280. Now, that is a card differential of 44 less cards, but all card stocks are different. This card stock for these 10 cards, because obviously they're fake cards or in fake crimps, the weight differential for 48 cards, it might actually make sense where these cards are heavier than a normal Pokemon card because it's different card stock, so the weight might be the same. So you can't say, oh, well, they could have just weighed it out. These are not Pokemon cards, so they don't weigh the same. There are 10 cards instead of 9 cards, so there's one more card per pack multiplied by 28 packs, and the card stock just might be different. So weighing definitely could be an option, but that is not a foolproof end-all be-all. So that is a good thought for a lot of people, but I wouldn't just say like that was the final straw that the auction house could have done was weigh out that booster box. I don't think that that is enough of a guarantee. I think that's definitely something the auction house should have done, but even at that point, then you need to have another known example of a Holon's Phantoms booster box, and then you have to know the weight. And then even then, the weights could definitely be off. When you're talking about 36, a sealed booster box weight could be different. So that is definitely a good thought, and I'm sure a lot of people are leaning there like, oh, you should have just waited out because it has less packs, but it might be a little more complicated than you think. It's the same way as I could take 2 cardboard boxes. I have this cardboard box to this side of me, this cardboard box. This one's from Amazon. Amazon cardboard boxes are way lighter than this one. Like, Amazon cardboard might as well just be made out of air. It's Amazon cardboard might be like a scientific conversation we need to have, like how light their cardboard is towards like a typical heavy rigid box. Like even cardboard is not the same, so weights can be different. But I see where your thoughts are, and that is a good thought, but it's not like end all be all. Anyways, guys, Monday morning, PTO from work all week. I got Monday through Friday off. I got to do some stuff around the house. Kiddos are at daycare. This is the only day we're sending them to daycare. They'll be home with us the rest of the week. Might pull my hair out. But I want to have a little conversation with you guys. Anything gets on your brain, let me know. We got a lot of familiar names in the chat. We got PokeKid. PokeKid said, "Good morning, buddy. Happy to see you." Tap is shout out to Tap, doing great things for the Rattle Discord. If you guys don't know, Tap, I don't know if I should say this out loud. It might blow him up. But I'll say it. Tap might give me a mean message later. But Tap is one of the moderators for the Rattle Discord for the bot section. So I'm going to do it. Tap, I'm sorry if this screws you over. But Tap is one of the guys you reach out to. Like if you do want a certain ping notification through the Discord, you reach out to Tap, and then he could add that UR link or whatever to the Discord bot. So let's say like I've reached out to him and said, hey, Evolving Skies booster boxes, can you just put a little ping in the Rattle Discord? Like, I know Evolving Skies booster boxes aren't going to get quote unquote restock or reprinted, but there might be like a random restock here or there. I would just like to see that. And then like all the Evolving Skies products, check lane blisters, 3-pack blisters, but you have to go in and manually input every one of those. So if there's like a certain product you're looking for, Tap could definitely help you out there. Don't blow up his DMs too much. We got Mr. Sam Northwoods, good to see ya. He said, good morning, everyone. Chill Phil said, shout out to PK in chat. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, everybody on Wednesday. Happy Hanukkah to everybody on Thursday. Garen M, he was once upon a time, my OG Pokemon plug, man. Garen always was slide. Speaking of Evolving Skies, the last case of Evolving Skies booster boxes I got was on Pokemon Center. At the time, Evolving Skies booster boxes were right around like $250 to $270 per box. Garen hit me up and was like, PK, we got a restock of Evolving Skies booster boxes on Pokemon Center. It was up for like 25 minutes. Stupid me, only bought one case. If I could go back in time, I mean, 20-25 minutes seems like an eternity at this point with restocks. And it was 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Garen just hit me up, and I went and I bought it. Should have bought more. Terry Lake. Terry Lake. My favorite Terry... So Terry Lake, if you guys don't know who Terry Bear is, keeps a lot of us in check, keeps me in check, keeps Dan in check. My favorite Terry Lake quote is, PK, what did he say? Oh, man, I'm going to butcher the quote, but it was something about how my wife is going to eventually divorce me or something like that. Terry, you can let me know. It's like, PK, spend more time with your wife or you're going to be making a video in a year or two saying how you guys are divorced. Terry, I can say at this point, I feel like that was a year or two ago you wrote that comment. Me and my wife, we are still happily married. And if anything, our marriage is stronger now than it was even a year or two ago. So maybe, Terry, you might have been a little wrong with that. But I do appreciate the constructive criticism, Terry. That is my favorite Terry Lake comment of all time. Old Terry Bear. Katie Lowen said, early AM stream. Let's go, Katie. Hope all is going well with you. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Felipe de Sosa said, morning lives on my day off is my jam. Merry Christmas. Yes, buddy. Everybody, we got Alex Pokebondo. Pokebondo says, how is Pokemon Center for pre-orders? If you have orders in for hype sets, are they likely to cancel pre-orders to fulfill other orders? So Pokebondo, to my knowledge, I have never heard of a Pokemon Center like pre-order getting canceled. Now, if you guys had maybe a bot or something that was bought in Pokemon Center and you got a million different products and you're all getting them shipped to the same address with the same credit card, that I don't know, but like just a one-off pre-order, I have never heard of Pokemon Center canceling a pre-order, so I think you're definitely fine there. Aaron just said Pokemon Center had never once canceled my pre-order. Pokey Steve said, what in the good morning stream are we doing here? Let's go. We got Mr. Basic Trainer. Mr. Basic Trainer, I salute you, buddy. We need to have a Basic Trainer 24-hour live stream pretty soon, or have Basic Trainer on for a live. Flying Fish says, it's pay the play in Pokemon right now. Nothing more to say. Just take what you can get and be thankful at this point. Yeah, very true. Pokebondo said in Treven, I wonder if there's been a Pokemon Center ETB more hype than the Prismatic and if it causes any issues come release. Well, there's already been some issues, so this is all speculative at this point, but right now, if you look at Pokemon Center ETBs, and I've speculated on this in the past, the most expensive Prismatic Evolutions product that exists are sealed cases of Prismatic ETBs from Pokemon Center. Now, this is the thing. We don't know if we're going to get them in ships in sealed cases. So the fact that people are already doing pre-orders on an item that they don't know exists. So normally, in the past, you get 4. So normal ETBs, like normal ETB boxes, are 10 ETBs per case. And then the Pokemon Center ETBs come 4 per case. So they're a little bit smaller boxes. Kind of look like the same size box the 144 count check lane blisters come in, where you got the big 10 ETB case. Either way. In the past, if you bought 4, they would send it in its own case. Now, they always like to slap the shipping label on it. I'm thinking about making a short to show you guys how to remove shipping labels. All you need is 2 things. Patience and a hairdryer. So all you do is, if they slap that label right over it, and I've ripped off more labels than I could count, because what happens is they'll slap the shipping label right over, like, hold on, I'll show you. This is not an ETB. Oh god, this is not an ETB case, but this is the same kind of this. I think this is the same. This is actually a little different size, but the same size. So this is a 144 count sleeve blister case. But what Pokemon Center does is when they print out your packing label, they stick it right here on top of this, and when you go to peel it off, usually you'll peel off some of this thermal label. Like, obviously it's not ink, but you know what I'm. For the sake of, explaining it, we're going to call it ink, even though it's a thermal label printer. But when you peel it off, you're going to peel off that ink thermal label. And it looks like, sometimes you can't even see what it is. But yeah, all you need is patience and just a hair dryer, and just heat that glue up on the back side of it and slowly peel it off. And you will be able to make it a clean box That's pro tip for everybody. Patience though. Don't go crazy. Don't melt it. Low heat. Patience. Slowly heat that label up, and as you peel it, don't go crazy. Patience. That's a big thing. Nobody has patience. But that's one way you can do it. But anyways, to go back to my rant. The 4 ETBs only exist because originally they did the pre-order where it was right when they released, you could order up to 4. But then Pokemon Center changed the pre-order quantity to 2. So the people that got those real early pre-orders in are going to potentially get a sealed case. And if that exists, there will be a very, very weird sealed case premium that exists for Pokemon Center ETBs. Who knows? Now, the people selling these as confirmed pre-orders of sealed cases, we don't even know. My most recent case I got, so they did a Fusion Strike booster box restock couple months ago. So MSRP for Fusion Strike at the time, they were like $225 a box, so it's like an instant snap buy. But when they sent my Fusion Strike case to me, they did the same thing, slapped the label over the case, but they cut the bottom of the box in order to put my shipping label on. Sometimes Pokemon Center, instead of cutting the tape, they just slap on the FedEx. It's like a clear, I don't know, like a clear packing, I don't even know what it's called. I probably have one next to me. It's like the clear label that they would throw the packing slip on the side of the box and then that clear label, and then they would ship it through FedEx. But Pokemon didn't do that. They put the packing slip in the bottom of the box, so they cut the seal of the stop tape. If they don't do that, a lot of things have to happen. That will be a very weird premium for sealed cases because people like sealed premiums, and they will be so ultra rare. And then everybody that does get their sealed cases and they cut those open as soon as they get them, they're going to lower that stock of sealed cases even more. It will be fascinating to see how this one plays out. But that is that one weird caveat. Super down the rabbit hole, super random, but maybe we'll see sealed case premium. So if you guys are getting a sealed case, you were one of the first pre-orders, you did get a sealed, or you did get a pre-order for, do not open up your case. Pokemon Center ETB or promos too right now. Say what you want. I have never one time in my life said a bad thing about Pokemon Center ETBs. If you look, go to my channel, go look at my community tab, scroll down, look at how many Pokemon Center ETBs I've posted. I don't really ever do community posts. The one times I do are because of Pokemon Center ETBs. And then ever since they added Pokemon Center stamps to it, listen, even that Pokemon Center Squirtle promo, you could go back and I have videos where I'm just like, I'm going to watch this. That was like what it was. And it was just that card. I put it on the thumbnail. You could go back and I just talk about that. I'm like, this is a weird promo. This is a weird Squirtle reverse holo from 151. And it has a Pokemon Center stamp on it. And the only way you were able to get this Squirtle promo is you have the pre-order ETBs, or sorry, UPCs of 151 from Pokemon Center. And at the time, the UPCs on Pokemon Center were MSRP, and you could actually find those 151 UPCs cheaper. Now they're like $250. But at the time, Pokemon Center was not your cheapest option. And I'm like, I cannot wait to see how this Squirtle Pokemon Center stamp promo plays out. And right when it was a release, $35. And then when they got released, they were at $35. I made another video saying, I think these Squirtle promos are pickups at $35. Fast forward, boom. Who could pick a single better than old PK, huh? But plus it gives me content to talk about. Mr. Mime is French says, dude, Holon Phantoms, what a set to get scammed on. Yes, I said this is great. The Frisky Squid said, wait, the box didn't have enough packs. Couldn't you just weigh the box and see if it's light on packs? Didn't even need to CT scan it. So Frisky Squid, I did answer that question for you. Normal packs have 9 cards. This one has 10 cards, so 1 extra card per pack. So that is an extra 28 cards that you would not normally have. Plus, cardboard stock can be different. So while weight is a great thought, it's not the end-all be-all. So we got Mr. Rusty TCA Gaming. Rusty, we got one of the real OG goats in the chat. If you guys do not know who Rusty is, if you're new to Pokemon, I know there's a lot of people new to Pokemon. Definitely check out Rusty. I know #1 mod in the game, Drew, if he's out there listening to this, hopefully he could pull his phone out real quick and link Rusty's YouTube channel. Definitely one. If there's, you asked me, it was like, PK, right now, put a gun to my head and say, give me 3 YouTube channels I need to follow for Pokemon. There's, without a doubt, TCA Gaming would be one of those top 3. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to make a lot of people mad. If you ask me 3 YouTube channels to follow, I'm not going to say mine because that is narcissistic. Rusty TCA Gaming, Rattle Pokemon, Dan Catch 'em All Collectibles. Those are the 3. 1, Rusty, backlog of videos, information on a million different things you could go on, look at his channel. From FPO cards to just modern stuff to pack rips to base set stuff to a lot of different variants. Rusty's good. Rattle, obviously, preventing yourself from getting scammed by on a $30,000 Holon Phantoms booster box. And then Dan Catch 'em All Collectibles, 100% tax advice. Pokebondo said, well, imagine if it had the correct amount of packs, but the CT scan picked up the shark crimps. If they weighed it, likely it would have shown a discrepancy, but better safe than sorry, yeah. A lot of people saying good morning. Appreciate all you guys. Smart said, spend $1,000 to see if your Pikachu EX 238 out of 191 is, if not, resell the boxes. So not $1,000, it's $225 to scan a booster box. $225, not $1,000. Max Power said, hey PK, taking PTO on your vacation already. Yes, PTO is up. Drinking my coffee. Drinking like a whole pot of coffee this morning. I'm all wired up with caffeine, just ready to fight the world. Pokebondo said, these older sets likely have many resale boxes out there. CT scanning for these are rare. Very valuable sets will save a lot of people from getting ripped off in the future. Yeah. Katie said, man, I'd definitely be curious to know what the process is like for this buyer to get his money back from the auction house. I'd be freaking out that their terms of service would have some sort of clause. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I wish I knew which auction house he bought this on. I tried to go on Google and do like a simple search, look at Heritage, look at too much. I couldn't even figure it out because I was just going to find like the different auction platforms that recently sold Holon Phantoms boxes, and then I was just going to match the Pokeball wrapping on the photos at that. But it's a great resale. Like, I know, listen, everybody can play Monday morning quarterback, but it's a very, very good. The Pokeball wrapping on this is one of the best I've ever seen. Again, the box is off, though. But I don't understand how somebody made such a good fake box and how the rocks are off. Like, that's another interesting. It's a good, I'm telling you, this is a very good box. And anybody tells you different is just BSing you. Chuck D says, I love the reverse holos from this era. The Gyarados with the Holon Phantoms stand. Oh, any Nintendo reverse holos are the best, yeah. Dote says, Space Heater works too for getting those. Yeah, any kind of heat, just 5 to 10 minutes and it peels off clean. Yeah, that's another. It's like just patience. Like, don't say, PK said they use a hair dryer. PK, I put it on the box for 1 second and I peeled it off and all the thermal label printer came off. No. Sonny said they might limit to 2 going forward. Yeah. Are you still buying boxes for your kiddos? Do you do specialty sets? Right now, I'm just doing main expansion. So main expansion booster boxes. And yes, my kids do have 1 booster box of every set. Now, if you guys don't know what Fat Belly Collects is, when my oldest was born, I said I'm going to buy 1 of every modern booster box. He was born. He just was born just in time for Evolving Skies. So my oldest did have an Evolving Skies booster box, and then every booster box from Evolving Skies to present, they have as part of their personal collection. Now, my youngest, born 2 years after the fact, missed Evolving Skies. I felt bad for him, so I went back, and he got every single booster box as part of his collection too, including Evolving Skies. So yes, both my kids do have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. They both do own Evolving Skies booster boxes, so pretty nice to be them. I have had people ask if I would adopt them, so I would give them booster boxes. Unfortunately, the adoptions are not happening. Film Flam says, I'm concerned about Pokemon Center ETBs being resealed as a wrap. It's clear and plain. I mean, if you're buying Pokemon Center ETBs straight from Pokemon Center, you're good. If you're buying them on the secondary market, there is always, yeah, that concern. So Greaves Collect says, PK morning stream, let's go. We got Basic Trainer linked, TCA Gaming's channel. Pokebondo says, I picked up one of those Pokemon Center Squirtles this weekend in a PSA 10. Traded some random cards for. I feel like the raw/10 price and sub 1K graded 10s make it a decent pickup right now. We'll see. We'll see. Pokebondo, I think it is a good item. All right, guys. This was my random Monday morning stream. I wanted to drink my coffee with you, tell you my experience with this fake Holon or resealed Holon Phantom fake box. I don't know what it is. Once again, I am not getting paid by IIC for this. I did not get paid to console on this box. But I do think that this is the future for a lot of this stuff. Alright, guys. As always, appreciate every single one of you. Do me a favor. Hit that like button. If you're new to this channel, you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys check out TCA Gaming. Make sure you guys have yourselves a Merry Christmas. Yeah, guys. I appreciate every single one of you. I will be live this Thursday, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to end it out. 52 weeks in a row, an entire year going live every single Thursday night. But I appreciate every single one of you. Please be safe this holiday season. Don't do anything I want to do, but there's not a lot of stuff I want to do. All right, guys. Love you all. Have a Merry, Merry Christmas. And as always, I'll catch you on the next video.